Hey everybody, it's me again. It's Monday. It is May the 4th be with you. Um, so today is a little bit of an all over the place. I have a new release today, and that is a little bit stressful. Not in the sake of not in the way like I'm not doing a whole lot of advertising for launch day. I'm going to be doing a lot of advertising throughout the rest of the month. So today is more the book is out. I'm getting some reviews from readers. I'm coordinating a lot of stuff, and that is the bane of every author's existence. I can tell you right now that the amount of stuff that goes into a launch is astronomical between reaching out to readers, prepping your reviews, getting your promotions ready. I have a sale going on starting next week for another book. There's just a lot of moving parts when a book comes out. So readers just get to see the fun of, ooh, a new book, whereas authors have like this mile long to do list of things they are supposed to be doing. And of course, we're probably not. Um, so as of right now, let's just see what people are doing for sprints. It looks like the next sprint is going to start somewhere around 12:15, I feel. So you're kind of stuck with me for about the next 15 minutes, which is peachy, I guess. Um, let's see, what else do we have going on? The the biggest thing that's kind of happening right now behind the scenes with superhero fiction is we have a group promotion coming up, and I can even show you a little sneak peek. So let me get my screen ready for you because I am pretty much okay. So let's share some screen real quick. Of course, my internet's being really slow today, probably because I'm doing so much video. Um, you could just give this a moment while that's happening. You got to check an email. People send me spam. So much spam. We're going to see a little interruption in. Okay, there we go. I was on my 2G, not my 5G. So this is the sales right now that's going to be happening on the 11th. We have some really awesome authors in here. Some of them you've even seen. Franklin Kendrick, who has been joining us for the live rights, is going to be in on it, and Trish Heinrich is going to be in there. So these are all going to be books for 99 cents. So we just wanted to do kind of a group promo and really say thank you to the fans who've been supporting us through all of this. So this is kind of our way of doing that, is kind of getting together and doing a group promotion. It helps like cross promote. Like I definitely think people who like my book are definitely going to like Lucas Flint. I think that they're really going to dig Supercharged or Justin Sloan's Rise Up. But again, we also have like a really just wide, diverse. We have everything from supers with capes, cyborgs. We have young adult related stuff. And we like doing these cross promotions because it's not just about me, the author, wanting to sell my book. Well, I mean, yes, it is about me wanting to sell my book, but also maybe a fan of mine is looking for a book for their kid, which is really kind of cool. We really kind of are taking this whole idea of superheroes and we want it to be a family event. It's been kind of our mission to not focus in on one particular genre of superhero. Because if you look at actual comic books, people who like Iron Fist, they like that street level martial arts, just a hint of magic here and there. They might not be the same fans who are going to be all, gaga for X-Men. So just like comic books have a wide array of things that they want to project, so do we. So let's, there we go. So that's kind of what we have going on in the background. And then on top of that, we are about to start ironing out. We're going to be doing a convention. We're going to do like a 5 nights of panels with superhero authors. And it's really mostly us wanting to collaborate with each other and just kind of share our geekery with readers, not just our readers, but fans of comics, of superhero television. I'm going to be doing a panel on superheroes on TV and in movies, so I'm really kind of excited for that. It's just a reason for me to geek out, which, I have a podcast with Trish all about geeking out. So there's going to be a lot of that happening. So there's just a lot of stuff going on, and it's good. It's awesome, but it's a lot of stuff. So I'm actually, while I'm chit-chatting with you, I'm going to sneak over to our Google Drive and see how many people have signed up for this event that we're doing. I'm nervous and excited all at the same time. Okay, let's see what we got. Ooh, 16 people. That's not too shabby. So our panels are going to be, and I'm super excited about this, no pun intended, superheroes and romance, because it is hot, and let's just admit, like, I'm a little on this streak of, I wrote a steamy story, so I'm all about superhero romance right now. And we have some amazing romance authors who really are superhero authors that blend those two things together. So I'm super excited to hear that one. We are going to be doing, Jeff Haskell is going to be moderating a panel about creating superhero powers and like how we come up with these powers behind the scenes. We're going to be doing a panel on anti-heroes and talking about evil protagonists. I'm a little excited for that one because we all know that Magneto is single-handedly the best villain ever. Making unique superhero origin stories. So I have beef with origin stories all over the place. So I'm really excited to hear how other people are coming up with creative ideas for their origin stories. And last but not least, superheroes on screen pop culture, which I'm going to be moderating. So I'm kind of excited for that. So I'm going to, while we're doing this, I'm going to take a quick peek and see which ones are full. Ooh. We have 6 people signed up for creating superpowers. We have 5 for superhero origin stories, 3 for romance. We're doing pretty good across the board. So now I'm kind of curious to see who our authors are going to be. Let's see. So far, we have Michael Bailey, Nancy O'Toole Mesvier. I'm so sorry, I just screwed up your name. Franklin Kendrick, Lana Pachurzik. Lana, I'm so sorry. Amanda Cherry, Krista Tomlinson, who was on the other day. Charlie Askew, Matt King. I did the panel the other day with him. Wicked awesome. Taylor Elwood, also did a panel with him. Awesome. CB Wright, Christopher J. Vallon. Ooh, I'm glad to see Chris is on here. Scott A. Story, Karen Diem, who I also did a panel with. I love being able to say, like, I know these people. JD Cunningham, Samantha Bryant, and Lucas Flint. And right now, that's not including the moderators, which are going to be Jeff Haskell, Trish Heinrich, and myself. So 19 authors. I have to tell Trish. She'll be on tomorrow. She's going to do a live right with us. So let's. If this goes well and we think that it was worth doing and we enjoy it, we're actually starting to talk about, because we're home and we have all this like empty time right now, we're talking about possibly doing author interviews, doing monthly videos, weekly videos, writing tutorial. Like, we're not even sure right now. We just really like this idea of creating content, connecting with readers, and basically just being a bunch of geeks, because deep down that is really all we are. The let's hearing all that beep is the sprints are coming to an end, so I will be able to hop into a sprint in a moment. I'm kind of stoked to do some writing. I didn't write yesterday. Bad author. My first time in almost 2 months. So you can hear all of them. They're putting their word counts in, all the beeping. So yeah, I'm super stoked for this convention. I think it's going to be really awesome. It's it's just kind of a cool way for us to connect with other people. And we're feeling just as isolated as you. And the funny thing about it is, we're used to being isolated. We're authors. It's kind of our job to be isolated. But at the same time, we're like, okay, we reached our limit. Now let's start reaching out and, connecting with one another. So we're trying to come up with these other ways for us to connect with friends, family, colleagues, peers, stuff like that. And at the same time, we want to participate with readers and just be geeky. So, I'm calling people out for not writing, which is ironic because I didn't write last sprint. Oops. Pot, kettle, black. Yeah. Hi, Kaleem. Kaleem's asking about what convention is this? So it's going to be, we're hosting it on the Superhero Fiction website. It's superhero-fiction.com. And it's just going to be 5 days of superhero specific panels. We haven't really, we keep calling it a mini con, but we haven't named it because I think if we call it something, then it feels so official. But we're going to be hosting everything on the website, on the Facebook page. So if you are a fan of superhero stuff, if you like the Superhero Fiction Facebook page, you'll definitely see it there. I got to admit, I'm really missing conventions. I swore off doing them as a vendor. I hated doing them as a vendor. It was fun meeting fans, but I would rather be a vendor at someone else's table so that I can, enjoy all the fun without any of the work. But as of right now, like, convention season would be in heavy swing right now. And with all this rain that's happened where I am, it would just be nice to go be around other geeks. I miss cosplayers. I miss seeing cool artwork. Like, I didn't realize how much part of my life conventions were. So I'm missing it a lot. So we'll put up a official page on the website in probably the next day or two. And people can subscribe and we'll send out an email to let them know about it. So super excited. I'm doing my my quick social media upkeep stuff so I can. Oh, did I just see a sprint? Get ready. Oh, okay. So 12:20 is our next sprint. So I'm gonna join. because I'm being an uber slacker. 12:20 to 12:40. I can't even tell time. Can you tell it's a Monday? Just a little all over the place. So yeah, I can't not talk about this convention in every way, shape, or form. Trish is not joining me for writing today, so I'm scolding her. How dare she take care of her family? Man, those are some messed up priorities. Can I be kind of obnoxious for a second? Oh, Franklin's on. Yay, I'm not alone.
You're never alone.
So I was rambling on about the convention mini conference. I don't know what to call it. Panelists.
Yes.
We have 19 authors involved right now.
Ooh.
So it looks like 2 of the panels we have more people than we need. And then the others, the romance one has 3 or 4, and then the others have 2 each. So we almost have enough where we won't have to repeat authors, which is kind of cool.
Nice.
How goes your morning of business meetings?
Oh my goodness. This is like my window gap where I think I've got like a little over an hour before they were like, yeah, and like we'll see you later. And I'm like, oh, okay, there's more.
Are you sure you'll see me? Do you have to?
Oh boy. It's gonna be one of those where I'm just like nodding and listening, and then I'll chime in when they call on me, because it's like there's so many people on the video chats these days where it's like, oh, it's literally a grid of everyone. And it's like, oh boy, I'm not used to meeting with everybody that I work with every day at the same time.
We do the Google phone conference thing, and if you get there early, it's like, oh, you're not on mute, and you can hear people doing stuff. Whenever I log in, like 5 minutes before, it's like there's so many people in the room, we're just forcing you into mute. Don't talk.
Yep.
Okay.
There's been the moments where we're like, there's a giant pause now because we're all just like thinking in our minds and trying to figure out how we're going to move forward. And it's like, hello, is there anyone still there out there? Like, yes, we're all just contemplating it. It's a whole weird world now.
We're discussing our life choices. We'll be with you shortly.
It's like my brain is trying to compute, trying to figure out what we have at our disposal that we can still do.
Ours are kind of nice because while the phone call is going, there's a Google sheet where people are writing in questions and the vice principals are answering them.
Oh, cool.
And then in the phone call, we're just getting new information sent at us. So you can do them together and watch side by side, or you can literally digest one thing at a time, which is kind of nice.
Cool.
All right. I think it's already that time. Oh, there's a lot of people sprinting today.
Yeah.
Are we taking bets how long till the bot breaks?
It's going to break like immediately.
Holy crap. 2, 4, 6 people, and there's like 8 people on. Yeah. All right. Gonna go make words happen.
Here we go.
Ooh. So I rocked that with 44 words. I'm technically in office hours right now, so day job still unfortunately takes the priority over everything.
Yes.
So I decided I should probably maintain that paycheck.
Yeah, it's important. You know?
I would love to say screw it all, but not so much. And why did I just close out a Scrivener?
Say I'll be in the same situation soon where it's like, oh yeah, I got to be present.
Do you guys have set meeting times, or is it just kind of as needed?
We've been doing like a daily in the morning with everyone just like checking in with the big picture, and then we'll add on like extra meetings like later in the afternoons if we have something specific that we have to all like come together for.
Okay.
But usually it's been us like on our own, kind of like tackling our own little things and then just like updating everybody as we get stuff done. Lots of Google Docs going on.
So I just checked my email and I just got requested to be on the Great Writers Share podcast.
Ooh.
So I'm going to completely blame Mal for this. We were having a conversation about, you know, like the knit and grit of like how much money are you making? How much money should you be making? How much money do you need to survive? How much money do you need to survive and live your lifestyle? Like kind of the things that authors are like, oh yeah, this is not just a hobby. And so she made some suggestions on just like, you know, you need to get yourself back out there. You relaunched and you're doing all the right things, but you need to just get more exposure for yourself. And I was like, okay, well, I'm doing the podcast with Trish, and we're hopefully we're having a meeting this week, and we're going to start talking about bringing in outside authors and doing interviews and what that might look like. But I was like, well, if we're going to bring authors on my podcast, I want to see about getting on other people's podcasts. So this has gotten out of control.
Yeah. This is a lot of podcasts you're going on.
Okay, so this is going to get a little. I am currently. I have a podcast coming out on Friday called Not Your Average Joe's, which is done by a friend of mine who is reading one of my short stories, and it is hilarious because he giggles when it's funny. So it makes me super happy.
Yes.
I'm going to be on a podcast on Saturday with Alicia McCullough, on Friday with Chris from the Sprinting. I am arranging a time for the Thursday Throwdown podcast, which we will discuss a particular superhero versus some random thing like the alien from Aliens versus Terminator, or just weird.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on Citywide Blackout with Max Bowen, which is kind of a syndicated thing. And I'm going to be doing 90s X-Men cartoons on Retro Octopus podcasts.
Ooh.
So that now makes 8.
Holy.
I wanted to get myself out there. So we're going to
now
schedule all the play dates.
Now you will be.
I'm sure it'll result in one book sale.
Well, it's tough right now for sales, I feel like.
I figure if it even is one sale, hey, it's it's worth it, and it's fun just chatting about geek stuff.
Yep.
So, all right, it looks like we are going to be late to this sprint because they're machines.
Yeah, this will be like a 15-minute sprint for me.
And you'll still get 3 times as many words as me.
Well, I switched stories today, so I'm working on a different one so I can like refresh my brain after like 3 days of solid superhero battles in the sky.
All right, I will chat with you soon.
Okay.
Yes, Amanda, we are quiet because we're focused, and I'm blaring show tunes that no one else needs to hear while I'm writing. So I really don't like that when you do Facebook Live videos, if you play music and it's loud enough for Facebook to figure out what you're playing, then it'll censor it if it's like a Fox Studio or Sony, and all of a sudden you'll be working and it just goes completely dead because, oh yeah, that's where that one song came on that's copyrighted.
Yep. It's like you got to use headphones separate if you want to just leave your mic on.
Which I would do, except I'm normally jamming out like a crazy person. So Amanda Call is actually the artist I'm working with for our comic book.
Oh, cool.
Oh God, like 2 years ago, we started this idea. Well, I started an idea that I wanted a comic book that tied into my superhero universe. And so I came up with some pitches, and she basically looked at me and said, meh. And she shot down my ideas and then was like, you need to come up with something way better. Oh, judgment. And so I'm super excited because, hold on, now I can take sneak peeks and show people. Sorry, Amanda, I don't know if we're supposed to be keeping this a secret, but oh well on that. But like, you know, I write superhero novels because I love superheroes. And I really just want to be a comic book author. And so this was kind of a dream. And so she I'm showing them the half done panel I did. So I came up with a story, and it's called I Am the First, and it's about a young a teenager in upstate Maine who is gay and coming out of the closet, and that we started talking about like trauma and how superheroes are born from trauma, like Batman, Superman, all of them essentially. And then we decided, well, what if trauma actually caused superpowers? And so that's kind of his story behind the scenes, and he winds up getting superpowers. And this was, we're pitching out to publishers, and we have to have 8 pages done. And so she does all the drawing and the inking, and this doesn't have any bubbles in it yet. And I do the flats, which is just putting in the super basic colors.
Mm-hmm.
And she takes my flat. So this is the flat. And then she goes and does her magic. And nice. Poof, our first finished panel.
That's great.
It's going to take us. Oh, do word balloons go in last? I always just kind of assume that you drew them in so that you could draw around them.
No.
I know nothing about making comics. I'm not even trying to pretend. I would like to believe I'm an expert, but no clue.
I think when you do like your rough layout, you sort of like generalize where they are going to go.
And she sent me pencils for the whole comic already. So I've gotten to see, you know, the intensity that goes into just brainstorming. And it is, every time she sends me something, I get chills. It's kind of like getting your cover artwork for your book, and you're like, oh my God, this is magnificent. Except there's hundreds of covers, and you're like, oh, it just never ends.
Oh goodness. Yeah,
Oh,
I love cover art. It's like the reveal.
so you make your own, right? Well, you make part of it yourself.
I do make part of it, yeah. I did get my characters commissioned, which was like I had to collect all of my references of like here's what I'm thinking and here's colors that I want.
I just sent my I did in graphic design we call it a lookbook.
Mm-hmm.
So I just sent my cover artist because this is a new thing. Like here's the premise, here's some characters that you could use for the cover, here's a potential design for the logo, but then this is what urban fantasy looks like. This is more urban fantasy. This is historic alt history. And
Ooh,
these are the things I isn't this cover just gorgeous?
that yeah.
I
It's very painterly, but it's like you know it's not a painting.
I I look at this and I'm like, ooh, that. Just make me more that.
Yep.
Uh, and then of course, you know, all the references that go into your character.
What a classy time period for
I'm
fashion.
I'm just so excited because of that. Like the 40s, like when they
Oh,
get dressed up to go out, like you got to give them some attention because they put effort into it.
oh yeah. It's like Peggy Carter vibes.
Yes. Ooh, I should rewatch that as I do this. I love me some Peggy Carter. Okay, of course, late for right sprint as always.
Oh, I gotta join. I didn't even type it in.
It's 110 to 130, I believe. So Amanda, what you get to see from here on out for like the next 20 minutes is just us making writer faces. I, basically,
Yeah,
I
because
just
you don't want to hear my
eyebrows.
soundtrack.
Yeah, and a good song every now and then. All right, be back at 1:30.
Here we go.
I may have just kept writing right on. Woot! I'm now level 140.
Yeah.
I want a little
I had to
avatar.
go back and look at my craft. It's like trying to remember all the info as I go, where I'm like, what did I drive that as? I had to like go back into a previous chapter and be like, wait, where is that description?
Oh. Trish is whoring us out in the Independent Alliance of Science Fiction and Fantasy Authors. My Facebook was just all sorts of ding, 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 ding. We've we're trying to do so many more things to get the more superhero authors involved. So like we're reaching out to folks that are involved across the board.
How many people would you say are writing under their real name, and how many people are just using a pen name for like, because they do multiple genres?
So, funny story, Lucas Flint isn't real.
I knew that.
I reached out to him in email and he sent one back and he had a different name. And I was like, oh, is this supposed to be a secret? Like, is this common knowledge? And he was like, yeah, I just did it because it's easier than people trying to say my last name. And I was like, point made.
Yep.
I couldn't pronounce it if my life depended on it.
You gotta have someone that just flows.
And Lucas Flint is a pretty, like, it's like a Clint Eastwood type of, like, it hits the tongue right.
Mm-hmm.
No, we have discovered, so Trish and I are going through the painstaking process of cataloging every superhero book ever written.
Crazy.
So we're doing trad published, indie published, anything that kind of touches on the genre, anything that's not a graphic novel, basically. And what we have discovered is there was a rush of indie authors in between 2012 and 2014 who published superhero books, except their covers are so incredibly bad that I completely understand why they may have been like, well, I'm not selling, I'm going to hop to another genre. And some of them have become really notable in other genres. Mm-hmm. So we have been inviting any superhero author that has published in the last 2 years just to focus on the people who are still in the genre, and then we'll branch out. But there's a lot of pen names, lots of pen names. And there's a couple who I think they've written multiple superhero series under different pen names.
Weird.
So you know that the erotica series that's always in the top 100 on superheroes, that's actually written by another superhero erotica author under a different name. There's, I think, 4 pen names, and he is, I think 3 of them are male, obviously male names, and one of them's a female name, and just keeps churning them out. So at any given moment, like at least one book from every pen name is in the top 20.
Wow.
And I don't know what the logistics for that is. Like, I don't know why you would do that in the same genre, but they're making way more money than me. So obviously,
Yeah. I don't know why. I tried to do a pen name and then I just gave up on it because I was like, really, I at the time I didn't have enough books to be like, I have a backlist. So I was like, really, if if they don't like my like non-superhero stuff, then they don't have to read it. They can wait till I update and say, hey, here's my superhero, next superhero stuff. Or for the other genres.
so originally, because jeremyflag.com belongs to um, a self-help author who does like life coach stuff.
Mhm.
He's my arch nemesis, and he doesn't. Oh, actually, he does know it at this point because he sent me an email after I may have talked a little too much trash.
Oh, jeez.
But my fans were going on his self-help book and giving him bad reviews,
No.
not because it was him. They thought I wrote a self-help book, and they were like, "Your book was good. Just you should probably stick to science fiction."
But the guy's probably like, what?
And so he put two and two together and kind of figured it out. So ever since then, I've just referred to him as my arch nemesis. But I was originally, when I released my memoir, I was going to release it under Remy Flag, except it's a story about growing up in a small town in Maine, and my name, like my family name, sold that book. So I was like, oh shoot. So I went and fixed it. And then I was like, oh, maybe under um my zombie stuff, I'll put that under a pen name, so there's a difference between them. And what I just realized was I don't have the effort to keep up a pen name. I'm not doing multiple social media accounts. I'm not. This
No.
is who I am in its entirety.
I feel like it's so past that point now where there was like a brief like couple years where it was like social media really is like selling all my stuff. I need to have all these separate Twitter accounts and Facebook accounts and all this. I'm like, really? Unless they're crazy voracious readers and you're able to keep up with it and have new stuff to post every day. I don't have enough to post every day.
And then you're posting in different personalities that aren't you. Like that sounds painful to me.
Yeah.
If I do start writing superhero smut, and I'm considering it, I will write that under a pen name, but it'll be like J Flag or Remy Flag, so they know it's still me, and it'll still show up under my book, but just something to give it a, oh, that's his steamy persona. That I could do, but I would rather just have the cover have a half naked woman on it, so it's obvious what you're going to buy.
Yep.
All right, 20 minutes. I keep forgetting to update the banners as always.
Here we go. I'm going to join this one for real.
Because when you join it, I'm always at the bottom.
I'm not. I wasn't number one last time, so
Good. Give the rest of us a chance to play.
my brain has to speed up. I'm not doing my prestige counts.
You're gonna lose your title.
Oh boy.
All right. Be back in 20. If it wasn't for hearing your keyboard, I would have just been going.
Well, I looked down and I was like, oh crap.
I'm having a very in-depth conversation about quantum mechanics and determinism.
Ooh.
AKA, I'm having to read a lot of Wikipedia because I'm probably bastardizing science right now.
Yeah, the Wikipedia. I've looked up a couple things to be like, how would this power work?
So all my powers from my heroes are founded in science in very loose terms, like pseudoscience everywhere. But my so I have superpowered people who have, you know, standard comic book powers, and then I have mentalists who have like telepathy, pyrokinesis, and stuff. And mentalists are the scary ones because their abilities defy science, and we just accept it. And then my powered people, they all have super limitations and all of that stuff, except for the main character in the series. He can open black holes, which in theory is possible, except it would destroy the world. But
That's cool.
I'm always Googling like animals in nature with superpowers. Oh my god, they're going for more sprints. They're gonna kill me.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to jump off and prepare myself for
another riveting phone conference.
Yep. It's gonna be great.
You got a bunch of words in though.
Yeah. Oh, it's like that's like
that's number one right now. Of course you did. I am currently I'm number 3 at the moment.
Hey, that's not too shabby. It's like if I take a break now and I don't do a couple sprints, everyone gets like way ahead of me.
It only takes you one sprint to catch up for like 4 of mine. I would have to start sprinting at like 4 a.m. to get above you.
This is why when I do NaNoWriMo, if I don't do sprints, I don't do as well, and then I save everything for the last minute, where I'm like, I should just sit down and do it for like a little bit and just make sure that I'm not distracted by anything.
I always do Nano where I do like the first couple of days, I'm like banging out like 10,000 word days. And then I'm like, I know I'm going to reach the end. I'm just going to go take a 3-week break.
I get into the trap where it's like, oh, I'm doing so well. And I do the math to be like, if I continue at this pace, I will be done so early. And I never stick with it. And I always run out of stuff that my creative brain just can't keep up. It's like, yeah, I can't do a book in 3 days.
I am actually like, since being quarantined, I'm doing pretty darn well with the consistency. Yesterday was my first day off in 2 months.
Oh wow.
So I'm pretty pleased with myself overall. All right, well, if you're gonna hop off, then I should probably hop off because God knows I gotta send more school emails. I haven't even started college yet. That's my evening job.
Oh boy. You'd be like, these need to go out, but these don't count towards anything creative.
Oh my God, yeah. Can I use work emails as my word count? Because I would skyrocket right now.
That's the most depressing thing. When somebody pointed that out to me where, like in one of the forums I was reading where it was like tips on how to up your word counts. And it was like, oh yeah, if I could just do like that 2,000 words a day consistently. And they were like, yeah, when you add up how many words you do in email, text message, and everything, you're like, wow, this 2,000 words is really not that much.
The email that I sent this morning was probably 800 words, and I probably have another 2,000 word email that I have to send out.
Oh my god.
I almost want to start my own Scrivener document just for work, because I want to see, like, at a certain point your hands kind of like, I can't type anymore, and where are all those words going, because they're not going in my book.
Yep. Ugh.
I'm just going to publish a book, the emails I sent.
Redacted.
Yeah.
The official transcript.
And it's just going to be all the nonsense I have to send out. That would actually be quite revealing on what crap we deal with.
Yep. Oh boy.
Best kept secret. We can't let it out.
Ugh.
All right. Well, I will chat with you tomorrow.
All right.
Have a good work call.
I will. Good luck with all your emails.
Woo! I'll chat with you later.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.